Hello, welcome to this MEFA webinar on saving money on community college with MassTransfer. In this webinar, you'll learn how you can use the free college and career planning website MEFA Pathway to find the right community college in Massachusetts. You'll also learn how to save on the cost by using the MassTransfer program. This webinar is also a part of MEFA's The Time Is Now campaign. And you can learn more about the Time Is Now campaign by going to this page right here where it says mefa.org/yourfuture. And this campaign is really geared towards students who are still trying to figure out their plans for their future. On this page, you'll find great resources about MEFA Pathway, of course, any additional webinars, and also recorded webinars that we have done, and just more helpful information about this campaign. This is a very exciting new campaign that MEFA is doing. All right. So as mentioned before, this webinar is on saving money on community college with MassTransfer. My name is 𝘚𝘢𝘷𝘦 𝘔𝘰𝘮𝘮𝘶. I am the MEFA Pathway Program Coordinator. I joined MEFA as an intern in 2016 as part of the college planning team. And then I've transitioned from that to MEFA Pathway, and I've joined this amazing team ever since, and I look forward to sharing you all about MEFA Pathway and diving in a bit more about the MassTransfer program. A little bit about MEFA, if you're not familiar, MEFA is a state authority that was created by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in 1982. Our mission is to help families plan, save, and pay for college. If you would like to learn more about MEFA and all that we offer, definitely encourage you to go to mefa.org. We have a host full of guidance, content, videos, webinars, all great information for students, families, and also educators. Just a quick housekeeping note on how you can participate in this webinar. So if you have any questions, I encourage you to use the Q&A feature throughout the webinar. I will definitely try to take a peek at those questions. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask, definitely feel free to put that on there. Encourage questions, definitely want you guys to have any questions, feedback, comments, all of that is welcome. This webinar is also live transcript, so you can select the CC button if you need live transcript for closed captioning. If you have to leave this webinar at any point in time, I encourage you definitely utilize the red leave button. And then also to the left is the audio settings, which you'll also find in the Zoom window. So if you need to control your volume levels or anything like that, definitely feel free to do that. All right, so let's get started. So as mentioned before, MEFA Pathway is a free college and career planning platform for students in grades 6 through 12 to help them think about their post-secondary success. You know, one thing that I love about MEFA Pathway is that we really support the idea that no one journey is the same. There are students that might want to go to a four-year college, students that might want to go to a two-year, maybe they go into a trade or the military or anything in between. There's really something for everyone in MEFA Pathway, and just knowing that, you know, there's no two journeys that's the same, and being supportive of that, I think is one of the definitely, you know, things that I love about MEFA Pathway. So I'm on mefapathway.org, as you can see. I'm going to select I am a student. So as students get to this page, if they do not have a MEFA Pathway account, then we encourage that they register for one. Again, the registration process in MEFA Pathway is free, so we will never charge to create an account or anything like that. The registration process is pretty straightforward, so we're just going to put in first name, last name, date of birth, and then the city or town the school is in, as well as the school itself. So I'll just put in a name of a student for an example. And then we'll put Boston as my city or town. And then we'll just do Boston Arts Academy. And then I'll hit submit. So now once you fill out that first page, then it will bring you to another page in the registration process where you'll want to fill out the remaining information, such as your address, city, zip code, the phone number is optional, and then the expected year of graduation. Now, the expected year of graduation is important because the year that is selected for that will dictate the kind of information that is displayed in the MEFA Pathway student experience. So we offer age appropriate and grade level activities. So if you are in high school, you'll see high school activities. If you are in middle school, you'll see middle school activities. The student portal is one platform, one experience, but middle school students see different activities than high school students. There are some similarities, but for the most part, we keep all the activities focused on grade level and age appropriate. So I'll just finish putting in this information. I won't actually hit the submit button, but just so that you can understand some of the information that is required in the registration process. So once you fill out both of these registration pages, you're going to want to hit register. And again, I encourage you to create your own account so that way you can also experience MEFA Pathway. But for the sake of this webinar, I just wanted to show you what the registration process looks like and entails. But since I already have an account for MEFA Pathway, I'm just going to log in with my information, so my username and password. All right, so we are logged in. I'm in my test account for 𝘚𝘢. We can see that 𝘚𝘢 is a 12th grader at Brockton Champion High School. This is 𝘚𝘢's dashboard. We can see that on the dashboard, there are a variety of activities that 𝘚𝘢 can complete. Or maybe she hasn't yet updated her course plan. Maybe that's something that she can work on. Or maybe she has already completed goals and strategies. The progress gauge will let students know whether or not you have either completed it or the last activity date for that particular activity. On the dashboard, we also have a featured video page, so students will be able to view videos on MEFA Pathway that have been created by members of the college planning team. And we also have a featured scholarship listed here. MEFA Pathway does feature a scholarship search tool, and that is an amazing tool that you can utilize to search for scholarships and just have a place to also add scholarships to your list. MEFA Pathway also translates into 6 languages. We have English, Chinese, Simplified, Haitian Creole, Portuguese, Spanish, and Vietnamese. So I'll just select Spanish just so that you can see what MEFA pathway looks like in a different language. All right, so now I'm going to just put it back to English for a second. All right, perfect. So now, because again, the focus of this webinar is MassTransfer, I'm going to hover over to search colleges. Here you'll find a variety of features in this menu navigation bar at the top. Where we are going to spend some time today is around MassTransfer. I'll showcase the My MassTransfer benefits, and then lastly, we'll also talk about a little bit of the College Compare. So the first place we're going to go is MassTransfer. So MassTransfer is a program that allows students to start at a community college and then select a state school that they would like to transfer into. The costs that students save are estimates, and they only include tuition and fees. Students may incur additional costs that relate to being a college student, like housing, a meal plan, books, and any additional expenses. But MassTransfer is a great program for students to know that they can start at a community college, get their associate's degree, and then transfer into a state school and finish off their degree. All right, so I'm going to select a school from this dropdown. We'll just do Mass Bay Community College. And then for my school that I would like to transfer into, I do Mass College of Art and Design. Now, so if students select a starting community college and then they select a school within MassTransfer that they are interested in or they would like to transfer into, you'll see that there are three types of programs. There's the Gen Ed Foundation program, where a student will do 1 year at community college, and then they'll do 3 years at Mass Art. Their estimated savings, if they were to do this program, is a little over $7,000 for the duration of this program. And then you can also see what the total estimated costs for 4 years would be if you decide to do this Gen Ed Foundation program. If you would like to learn more about the Gen Ed program, you can select this gray Learn More button, and that will bring you to the Gen Ed Foundation program, where you can learn more directly about their program, the credits that are required, the different types of majors, and just more information about that program. Next, we have the A to B program. So with the A to B program, students will do 2 years at a community college, in this case, Mass Bay Community College. Then they'll do 2 years at Mass College of Art and Design. Their estimated savings is a little over $17,000, whereas their estimated cost for 4 years is a little over $42,000. Similarly, if a student is interested in the A to B program, they can also select the Learn More button, and this will take them to a more detailed page about MassTransfer, the MassTransfer A to B degree program. Again, students can look about different majors, maybe the number of credits, maybe the number of the minimum GPA that might be required, how they can apply for the program, great information like that. Last but not least, we have the Commonwealth Commitment Program, where students will do 2 years at a community college and then 2 years at a state university. Their estimated savings is a little over $24,000, and then we can also see the total estimated cost for 4 years, a little over $35,000. Similarly to the previous two programs, if students are interested in this plan, or they can learn more by selecting the Learn More button, and this will take them to a more detailed page about the MassTransfer program. So we can see our majors here that are listed, the directory, how to get started, all that great information. So let's say that you have put in your community college of choice and you put in your state school, and you see that there are 3 great programs and you're not sure which one that you want to select, but the Gen Ed Foundation program sounds interesting to you. So what you want to do is select the Save This Plan button. You can also name your plan if you'd like, but for the sake of this webinar, I'll just keep it the name that's already pre-populated and select Save. The nice thing about MEFA Pathway is as you complete different features and activities within MEFA Pathway, you'll be prompted with additional activities that you can do next. So we're being prompted to go to the college calculator, the college compare, maybe create another plan, different activities you can definitely do after you complete an activity within MEFA Pathway. But for the sake of the webinar, we'll just exit this window and we'll go to MassTransfer, my MassTransfer benefits page. All right, so the plan that I just saved in that previous screen will bring you to the My MassTransfer benefits page. The great thing about this list is that it will list any plan that a student has saved. So whether it's the Gen Ed Foundation program, the A to B program, or the Commonwealth Commitment program, students can use this list to save their programs of interest, but maybe there's a program or plan that they are no longer interested in. They can easily remove a plan from the list by selecting the X button under Remove. Students can also add more plans by selecting this Add More Plans button, and it'll bring them back to the page where you'll start, you'll select a community college and then select a state school. So we have our list of plans that we've added from MassTransfer. We can see them listed here. We can see our program name, the starting school, and then the transfer to school. Next, I'm going to hover to the college compare. So the great thing about the college compare is that you can compare up to 5 colleges at one time. So whether you want to pull in colleges directly from your college list, or you want to pull in from your MassTransfer benefits list, or a combination of both, you can do that. You can also pull in colleges from the browsing feature, or even search by college name. For the sake of this webinar, I'll pull in a combination from my college list and also from my MassTransfer benefits page. Before I do that, I do want to mention that if you complete the college compare, you can actually save your comparison. So maybe you've put in your college list schools and your MassTransfer benefits program, and you want to save that comparison to come back to it. You can do that at any point in time. So if you even happen to exit MEFA Pathway and come back, you just select the Save or Load Comparison button, and you'll see a list of all of the comparisons that you saved in the college compare. All right, so going to select a college list. So we'll do LaSalle University because that's actually my alma mater, and then we'll do Boston University, and we'll do an out of state. We'll do UMaine. All right, and then we'll also do our MassTransfer benefits schools or programs. We'll do Gen Ed, and then we'll do A to B. All right, so we have our 5 schools listed. I'm going to keep my criteria as what you see listed here, so I'm not going to uncheck key factors, undergrad information, tuition and fees, or academic info. I typically like to keep it checked, but if you do the comparison yourself and you would like to deselect any of these, that's totally fine too. And then I also just leave my preferences blank. I just figured we can just do that. So now I'm going to show comparison. All right, so we can see through our comparison, on the purple, so on my left, the purple are the MassTransfer program schools or plans. And then to my right, or the blue, are the schools that were added, I added to my college list. So for Bunker Hill Community College to Salem State, through the Gen Ed program, we can see key factors like type of school, size, location. We can see information about undergraduate data. We can also see an estimate of in-state and out-of-state tuition. You'll see the net price calculator, and then also more information about SAT scores and academic information. So if a student were to do this program here, their estimated savings would be around $2,500 compared to a traditional bachelor's program at Salem State University. The next that you see in purple is the MassTransfer program, or the A to B program, and that is starting at Roxbury Community College and transferring into UMass Lowell. Again, we can see the key factors such as type of school, the setting, the size, information about undergraduate data, and then the estimated tuition and fees for this particular program here is $18,626 in savings compared to a traditional bachelor's program at UMass Lowell. Again, students will still want to meet the requirements that are in each MassTransfer program, but it's great that students can use the MassTransfer program, but also the College Compare to look at different options. And then we also have, of course, the colleges that were added from my list. So we have LaSalle University, Boston University, and UMaine. We can see again key factors, undergraduate information, tuition and fees, out-of-state tuition, net price calculator, and just more information at the bottom about academics and test scores. So if you look at just the estimated tuition and fees for all of 5 schools, or the 3 schools, and then the 2 programs that we have listed, you can see just about what the in-state tuition and fees would be, what out-of-state would be, and then also what the potential possibilities are for savings. So if a student decided to go to RCC for 2 years and then complete 2 years at UMass Lowell, then they would have the capacity to definitely save on their tuition and fees cost, comparing if they did not go to do a MassTransfer program. But this is a nice way to give students an option to compare any school or program that they are interested in. And again, if you put in your comparisons and you would like to save them, you again just select the Save or Load Comparison button. I have a couple comparisons saved, so I'll just do comparison. And then, maybe you have saved your comparisons and you want to, remove any of them. You can hit the X button. Maybe you want to show additional comparisons. You can just select that button, the Show Comparison button, and you'll be able to view additional comparisons that you have saved in MEFA Pathway. So just to show, comparison, and then you'll see the same thing if you put in your MassTransfer program schools or even your college list schools. Alrighty, so I'm going to head back over to our presentation. If you follow MEFA on social media, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, we are on LinkedIn, YouTube, and we are also, we have a MEFA podcast, and we encourage you, definitely stay connected with us. These are our social media channels and where you can find us. And then, of course, if you have any questions about MEFA, MEFA pathway, or just anything in between, definitely feel free to get in touch with us. We welcome helping families and students on their journey, and we definitely are here to help you in any way that we can. And I thank you all for joining this webinar, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.